Hello, everybody. Renee here, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and Augie. She is always here. You probably have a better view, just working out some glitches and trying to get it better for you. So anyway, today is number 4 of 10 weeks of fall. And so we are going to be doing a luminary card that uses the Z fold, and it's a delightful card and can be used for many seasons. I've done Halloween, or I'm going to do fall. We can go ahead and do winter and Christmas, just all season from this point on. Get that little luminary light on. All right. So let's go ahead and start working on that card. All right. Okay. Okay, we are set. Everything looks good. Excuse my reach, but we should be good. And recording is going on. Yay. So it's about 2 o'clock, and here is the live, and here I am. And I do not have a card for you because I have given them all away, but we will build one. And the last ones were Halloween, but these are Z fold luminary cards. All right. And there are some special sets and everything that I've used. And really, they're just 2 Z's. A Z with the card base and a Z with the designer paper. And we'll show you how you can put those together. This is the set that's in the catalog that I'm going to show you in just a second, and show you and talk to you about what I'm going to be using for this card. All right. So we have a painter that's just arrived, and so hopefully you cannot hear his scraping, but we will see. So that was part of the designer paper, but I'll show you in just a second the sets. So first of all, the set that you can use that is current, okay, which makes these pumpkins, these leaves, these flowers, this label. These are some of the labels here. All right, so here is this lovely set, and it's right here. Hello Harvest bundle is the bundle with the dies, and I will tell you that this is the die you would use instead of the one I am using. You can also use these flowers as part of it or not. Definitely, you can use these scrolly things and the leaves instead of the leaves and scrolly that I'm going to use. All right. I am going to be using the leaf label and amber gem combo pack. That's a beautiful pack, and you'll see I'll be using the leaf. I did buy this out of this entire Rustic Harvest suite, and I bought this gorgeous designer paper for the fall. So this is my fall paper. There is another fall paper that I've purchased, and I will show you that later. So this is what you can use for this set. I have everything but this because I'm going to be using something else that I have that I like very, very much. But before that, I did want to show you the designer paper, and it is gorgeous. It is called Rustic Harvest, of course. It's all about the Rustic Harvest. And so you have these all in color, and I'm going to be using this page, and I'm going to be using this page, and today is about fussy cutting. All right, and this page, this is great paper for fussy cutting. All right, and matter of fact, I'll probably show you from this sheet so you can see. Then we have this sheet. All right, and then finally this sheet. On the back side is all black and white, which is great because you can color. You can use coloring pencils, your blends, your writes, and go ahead and color. It is beautiful. The coloring is great. And I will be showing you that in the near future as well. Here's some black and whites. Again, here you can still color this. You can still color this. Here's some black and white and black and white. And that is the other side of this beautiful paper. What I am going to be using, and here is your, I got a little, here are your dimensions that we'll get to in just a moment. What I used, I will show you mostly what I used. I used the Pretty Pumpkin, which was from last year, and I really love this set. And so I decided not to buy the current set, instead buy this one. And as you see here, they had the little curlies and the leaves. And so these are the curly and the leaves here that I used. I did use the So Thankful For You from this, and you will see that. And so that's the older set. And here are the dies. I just want to show you that if you have this set. So I used these leaves, these two. I use this and I use this. All right. So these are the pieces that I used to make this luminary card. All right. And it's just a gorgeous set. If you have it, this is a perfect time to use this set. All right. Oh, there's that. Yes, I see another pumpkin here. And so this is, if you have this and you too decided not to purchase the new one, well, it goes perfectly with the new DSP and everything else in that suite. The other label you will notice that I used is Know That You Are Loved. This is from the current annual catalog. This is a beautiful fall set. All right, a beautiful fall set. And I did use this set that was from 2 years ago. And I used this that is also a new, that they have this in a new stamp set, and I want to show you that. So you see here the flowers, I had pumpkins, so, and I have a wheelbarrow here. This one's a great stamp set because this one has, it's an old bundle that had a fence, which I love fences. They have many stamp sets currently that have fences, and I think they're great and definitely worthwhile. So what I wanted to show you from the annual catalog is that I believe that's what I wanted to do. I think so. I think that was it from the mini, but from the annual catalog, one of the things you'll see is I die cut these. As you can see right here, I die cut, I use that big pumpkin and die cut it out the areas, and I'll explain that in a bit. And you can use the die, the thinner pumpkin die from the catalog. So you can definitely use these two, just this one to make the holes, and then this I'm going to show you what I did with the remnants after I cut the hole for the luminary. All right, so you're going to go ahead to cut these. Now let's say you don't have die cut holes, They have to be a certain size. That's why I said the thinner one, the fatter pumpkin die cut would not work. But you could also use the diorama, layering diorama dies if you have that. And it's the second from the smallest that you would use. All right. And in the annual catalog are the deckled rectangle dies, which are wonderful, which I absolutely love. And that would be from the third from the smallest. I would use that one in this space to create your opening. You need 3 openings. I'll explain how they're done. And you could use the diorama dies. You could use these dies, the deckled dies. You can use, and this, if you don't have the stylish shape dies yet, you might think about that because you could use these circular ones very easily. There's all kinds of different die sets here in the catalog that would cut out holes for various, there's your diorama, here's your layering circles, but there's all kinds of dies that will cut out. Also realize that your flower, that if you cut out a big hole, you can use some of those flowers that you might have, all right, that will do the trick. If you have this die set, that would do the trick. So really, here's those beautiful deckled dies. You can use different things to cut out your holes. You do want them centered, and you do need them a specific size, and that basically is where you don't want it any wider than 2 inches, okay? And as far as height, you don't want it any higher than 3.5 inches, all right? So that is something you want to be aware of. Okay. So I think I've showed you everything, and so we can go ahead and play now with this. So I'm going to turn on this light so that you can see better, and you can see those dimensions. The card base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5.5 and 2 3/4. The designer paper, as far as that goes, this is all you need. The designer paper is either a 4 1/4 to 4. I choose 4 because that means I could get 3 lanterns out of it. So I go to 4, and I go to 10 3/4. You could go to 10.5, and I did give you the dimensions. It's 5 and then you have to score that on the long side. Both of them are always scored on the long side at 5 3/8 and 2 11/16, which is 1/16 less than 3/4. And then it talks about basically once you have your designer paper, you really don't have to score. Designer paper is easy to fold. So I fold it in half, and then one of the sides, I simply fold it in half. That's all I have to do, okay? So you fold it in half, and then only one of the sides do you fold again in half, and you really don't have to measure. Then what I do, once I have this, I go ahead and I take my die, and I simply cut through. I've simply put it through the machine and cut my hole. It cuts out the whole piece, and then at the end also gives you your piece. It gives you 3 pieces after that. Here are the 3 pieces. Here's one of the 3 pieces. You get your 3 pieces after that, and you can use them for something else. It's perfect. All right. So that's what that is. All right. Then, of course, you cut your card base at 4 1/4 by 11. I do score cardstock because it does get messy if you don't. So this down here, it says simply fold alongside in half and one of the halves in half. So that's all that is. They are both Z Folds DSP card bases. Okay, the card and the DSP. All right, so there you go. We'll put that away to the side. We're going to put this back so that we don't lose that. And that's good. All right. And so let's move on with how to build this. So this is actually pretty easy to build. Basically, you have this, and if you want anything in here, really on the back side. Many times I don't for this little luminary. But if you do want that, what you want to do is put it in now. Now, usually you can stamp. What you're going to do, if you look, you will see both. You will see both of these. You see how that works? So you can go ahead and have designs here, whatever you like. What I decided to do was something a little different. I decided to actually, here are some of my pieces here. I decided to fussy cut this out. All right. And so to fussy cut this out, I wanted it in the center. And so that when this comes here, I can actually see it. So I just wanted it pretty much in the center, and so that it's just a background picture of that. All right. So if you saw that, that's what it's going to look like. I do want it a little lower than higher. And what I did is I simply took it, put it where I wanted it, and then just fold it closed. Again, that DSP is so easy to manipulate, all right? And what I'm going to simply do is glue this down. This is going to be in my background, just a little highlighting. It is longer than it needs to be. That's okay, because I am going to cut the bottom off. And I'm just going to put it right in the middle here. Right in the middle here, just like that. Up. I want it further down. Further down, further down. There you go. Want it further down. Some glue there, and then I'm just going to close it. That's all I wanted. Yeah, make sure it's in the middle. Make sure it's in there. You don't want it up or popping up. You really do want it down there. So I've got it in there now, just like that. All right. And so it'll immediately stand up. So now all I'm going to do is cut that off. Cut that edge off. And then what I'm going to do, now the card won't lie flat anymore, okay, because we did glue it in there, okay? That's okay, because you don't want it to lie flat, okay? You don't want it to lie out flat. It's not supposed to, so that's fine. So now what I'm going to do, once that's done, I'm done with that section. If I wanted anything else in the background, I would have to play with that and look at that. So the next thing I'm going to do is simply, I can do everything else while it's on here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part and I'm simply going to put some glue here. And that's going to get glued on. As you see, I don't do the whole piece because now the whole piece would not be, let me just see that. So what you want to do is you want to get that further down and equal. I'm not getting it equal yet. There you go. I don't know why I'm so high this time, but there you go. There you go. There you go. I want it pretty darn close to that edge. I know that. And then all I do is I'm going to fold that shut. So the next part is simply putting glue on this section. And simply closing it down. Closing that down. and closing that down. And there you go. And there you go. And you've closed it down. So that's pretty much, you see here, what you're going to have is this is the area right in here is where you're going to drop your little luminary right in there. Okay. And then in the front, what you're going to have is something, make sure that's glued down, is something like this, where you just see a little bit of it. You just see a little bit. See how pretty that is? Okay. So I do want to talk a little bit about fussy cutting. And so I am going to do that. And I decided that I would show you here on this piece. What's great about Stampin' Up! Paper is that they do allow you to fussy cut. And so one of the things, let's look, I look at the corners and I go, well, what I want to do is take a corner. I think about taking a corner and not disturbing too much of the paper and getting more of what I want to play with. So right here, I see here, oh, well, this looks pretty good, where I can get a good straight edge. And I won't be destroying too much of my paper if I need a piece. And I'm going to get as many cutouts as I can. So those are kind of my criteria. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. And if I really wanted some of this, I could have that, and I could have the little acorn. I could do that kind of a thing. So I first cut it out. Then what I do, I'm going to look at this pumpkin right here. Because this is going to work, because it could be on an edge of something. So that's going to work. So what I do is I go ahead and just cut that piece out. I use scissors. Note that I am turning the paper around and not my scissors. I'm turning my paper around to do that cutting. Okay, so you move the paper, and if you notice, I will cut right at the back side of my scissors, and it almost like glides. I keep it round. The idea is keeping things round and you're good. And even if I wanted to, I could round that and make that kind of like, I can round that even if I want to. Or I could have kept it flat. It really, because I can put it on a border, I can put it behind something. So basically, this is how you fussy cut everything out. And you get yourself a great pair of scissors. That is a must. Stampin' Up! Does sell these scissors. They are called their snips. They are fabulous. Really, they just cut exactly. This company, if there was something better, I would use something better, but this company is really the best. Now, a lot of people say to leave an edge. I actually don't leave an edge, and it works for me. So here would be, for example, a pumpkin fussy cut out. And so I just wanted to quickly show you that procedure, okay, so that you can see that happening. All right. So next with our piece. Okay, so you saw how I die cut that out, right? You saw that this was die cut, and I just simply, again, put the die in and feed it through the machine. What happens if it doesn't cut through all 3 pieces? You'll have the imprint here, okay? And you can lay your die cut here, right over this again, keep this open and run the machine through, and it'll cut that out. So the nice thing about even die cutting these 3 layers together is if it doesn't cut this out, it fits in the groove because you've already got the template sitting right there. So everything is equal. So no worries. Okay, so we are here. And that little guy doesn't want to stay down, but I'll get him down later. And so what I wanted to do, one of the things I was going to do is I decided I usually have something here, and I would have put maybe white paper behind if I wanted to stamp something on there. I would have stamped it and then put the white paper down and then put this over the white paper, and the white paper would be hidden. Only this part of the white paper would show. But what I had decided is I was going to go ahead and put this down. okay, right in there. I thought that was kind of neat. And so that is what I'm going to do. And to do that, I am going to use my handy dandy liquid method, because this here is a little more difficult. So it's so well, actually, maybe I can dot it. Well, yeah, I can dot it. Now, when we do these things, a lot of times you've seen me use brushes, you've seen me use, and then I spread it, right? I dot it and spread it. That's what I do. And mostly what I want is certain areas to for sure be down. And of course, this has this area, which is kind of good. And again, I spread it as soon as, spread it with that tip. So that, see, I take it from there and then spread it there. Take it from there, I'd like some over here, just a little bit over here so that it goes down. Goes like that. I do have blue there, so what I want to use then, you've seen me use my silicone bowl and stuff like that, so that's always been handy. I'm going to buy, since this comes with this set, this is the advantage. Since this comes with this set, I'm going to use these tweezers that they sell, and the embossing powder with the tray. But I just thought that was so nice there. And here is that tray for the heat embossing. And here is your little embossing buddy, your cornstarch to keep things sticky. That is also very handy. Even if you don't have dry heat embossing, this will come in handy. And there is a brush that comes with it. The neat thing, it's a wide brush, but the neat thing with this is that, for example, if you decide that you are going to use water and do some painting, you can do it in here, and that might be helpful. Or you can do it on the back side, and that might be helpful, so you don't get all your paper wet. That you might try out. And that brush is a really nice brush. It's a wide brush, like this one that comes with it, and it is white, and very, very nice. All right, so anyway, so that was that. Show you that comes with that suite. So everything I purchased from that suite, except for, see how nice that is? See how pretty that is? Okay, so then I decided, all right, we are going to use this, which also came from Leaf Label and Amber Gem Combo Pack. And this does have a little hole. This is going to be great. I'm going to be using these again, especially for placeholders. You're going to see that. And then these gorgeous gems. I will not use these gems. I think we're pretty much, full. So now, what I want to do, I think I had some powder. Now what I want to do is I do want to glue this back on. This is the white cardstock for the back, and I am going to glue that on. And so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and here and here. And then I'm going to place this in the center on the back. When you can see, you want to make sure your edges are pretty much the same. And usually if you look at that edge and that edge, across that edge and that edge, if that corner is good and that corner is good, then your system is good. I am going to put down, I haven't decided if I was going to go ahead, and I did some embossing, so I didn't know if I was going to go ahead and do something like that with Know That You Are Loved, and then your little message can come here. That can happen. That was from that stamp set, as I mentioned. I just die cut this out in plain and then went ahead with the edges and put the mossy meadow, did a little mossy meadow with the dauber. And then I went ahead and used this stamp to do a little stamping here off the edge. And then I went ahead and used the Know That You Are Loved from this. But for the front, I used So Thankful for You. And both of those sentiments do go together, so I could work with that. Now, the other thing I wanted to do here, since this is done, I got a little bit of that, unfortunately, but that's all good. So now what I wanted to do is I did, when we put the tea light in, I did not want to really see much of the candle. So this was a pretty big, as you see here, this was a pretty big die cut. So I'm going to put this right here, right at the bottom. And so I'm going to put glue just right here, right at the bottom. And I'm going to stick that on there, right there. Just like that. Just like that. And that can, what you do want to do is you don't want it to go over your card. You do want that to be on the inside, so you check it so that it is on the inside. So we have that. So that'll be there. And then I have another one that I cut out, again, fussy cut, just like I showed you, and that'll go right there. All right. And that one will be fairly easy. That one will be fairly easy as well, because it's, you don't have to worry about it showing over the edge, because it's on the other side. So it goes like that. When you do these, you kind of want them to be, you don't want to see them from the other side when it's closed. You kind of want it hidden, and this is hidden enough, but you do want to pay attention to that so that they kind of don't show like a big white thing like here or something like that. So you pretty much want it so it's discreet and you barely notice it. Okay, so make sure of that, okay, when you do that. And I think that I am good with where that is. I kind of do like where it is. And that would be then like this. Do you see that? And so when it stands like this, and then the candle will be in the background. And so wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, so we're not done. This is such a fancy little card. We're not done yet. What I decided to do is, again, this is all about fussy cutting, and I'm showing you how easy this paper is to fussy cut out. There are 3 sheets. There is the pumpkin sheet, there is the gourd sheet, and there's the flower sheet, and you can do all of those. And so what I'm going to do here is I was going to go ahead, and now I can use dimensionals. I didn't use dimensionals anywhere else because it is not appropriate. But here on these flowers, I think you can. And so I will go ahead and use my dimensionals right here. And I will put them in various spots just to make sure that it's good and sturdy. I used to never put so many dimensionals on, but I do now. I've talked about my pick tool, and let's see how handy it is with these. They do take them off. You just have to have the flick of the wrist correct. And you can see here, so you don't have to touch it at all. And they're all off. kind of got that out of sync. So there we go. And I wanted them to show upward so that these were like upward. So I'm going to go here like this. This is just great. Then I had a small piece. I don't know if I still have it. I have a small piece that I wanted to put in here that I fussy cut out again. Okay. And I want to put it in here as well, right here in that corner. It's part of that paper. And I can put that on dimensionals as well. Put that there and put that there. Take those off. And that is the bottom. And I just thought it would be just cute to have this right here. Right here. I do want that tucked under because you see how you can have an end that is not perfectly cut and it fits beautifully under something. All right. And that's kind of what you go for. And then this guy, what I'm going to do is part of it is going to be underneath and part of it is going to be on top. And I'm actually going to glue that on to, it's going to be a couple of gluing spots and some dimensional. So I'm going to take a dimensional here and a dimensional here. And then I want to glue that end underneath. That's going to go a little bit underneath and get glued. All right. And I want it in a specific spot. So I have to finagle it. And I'll talk about these other pieces in just a second. So I'm going to go like that. Yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work. That's there. And so what I could do, but I don't think I have to, glue this end down right underneath. I could do that. Just put a dot of glue. I'm just putting a dot of glue right underneath that tab, underneath that edge, making sure I don't get too much glue. And then put that down there. And then that'll work. And then there, so what I used is obviously some ribbon. I had some old ribbon, which I actually absolutely love and just ran out. And I have these beautiful trinkets that is in the mini catalog, which are wonderful. And I have used these before and we'll use these again, open leaf trinkets. It's just an open leaf trinket. It's just delightful. So thankful for you. And then here you would open it up and then you would stand it up, put your little tea light in there, your electric tea light, and this sits on your mantle. It can sit in the entrance hall on your furniture piece, whatever kind of piece you have. It can sit as part of a centerpiece with the candle in there. It is just fun, delightful, and easy. All right, so this is number 4 of 10, and next week will be 5. And we'll see what happens there. I am going to be getting the paper pumpkin, so I probably will do a reveal or a little sneak peek of that box. And then next Tuesday I will make probably a card from it or a box and show you some alternatives, usually is what I do. But this is all this takes. Now on the back side, when you go ahead and flip that around like this, what I can do, I have a few options. I die cut those scrollies, just like you could die cut the scrollies from the other parts. And you can go ahead and just put that right down there like that. All right. With, I did have this here, and a little greenery. I do like this, and a little greenery. I think that looks really nice. This could be maybe a little too much. So let's try that one and see if that one works better. Does that work better? A little bit of the greenery and the orange. I think so. I do like that. So I am going to put this, I am not going to put this on dimensionals. This is the back side where you write your little message, but you do like to have a little something special on the back. And I did like this. And I do like my pumpkin from that DSP. So this is really fun. I do like that. Probably should have put that under there. You know me, I always do something like that. Yes, I like that. That'll stick to that and that'll keep that all down. That's the fun part. I don't have to put glue on absolutely everything. And that's what I will have on my back side, which I think is really fun. On this one, I did cut out, which was interesting, but I don't think I will do it. I did cut out this, which I did cut these out, which I can put here. And matter of fact, if I put that there and glue that there, you even see less of that background, which is kind of what you like to do. And then you wouldn't see any of it. So I remember those pieces. So you can hide that background by simply putting those on there, which actually work. Now, again, when you do this, it was from that set. I'm just going to put the glue, a dot right here and a dot right there. Kind of, you see how I do that, swirling around. And then I can put that right here like this, like that. And then the other one on the other side. And by doing that, I have hidden any part of that other pumpkin that I'm seeing through, because really you don't really want to see through that. And really it's all green and all sweet and all cute. Isn't that great? So 2 Z folds. That's all it is. You don't have to put anything in the background if you don't want to. You have your card right here on the back. You have something sweet on the back from that beautiful DSP. Again, this was stamped. And then I took with Cajun Craze. And then I took my little, love these, and just went ahead and went around the edges. So you have those to work with. And this is the card they would get with a little tea light. And there you go. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? This is what they will see. And with a little glowing light. And all you do is set that little tea light right down here. All right, everybody. Enjoyed showing you this. Hope I didn't go too long. It doesn't look like I did, so that's excellent. And I will be talking to you soon. Don't forget to like. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Comments, love the comments. If you have anything you want to see, for example, a technique or something that you saw and you're not understanding, please message me, put it, comment and ask the question. I will love to see questions for me to help you out, do things. By the way, I was thinking of putting that instead, but after cutting that out, that's much better. These are just ideas of how to do the backside just a little special. That's all. Okay, I think that's it, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be seeing you next week. All right. Bye-bye now, everybody.